Good evening, guys. Good evening. Belfast, boxing and blues. Or blues and boxing. Whatever works for you. You know, some people might like the way it sounds one way, and others might really dislike it. So then you gotta say it the other way, and it's like, oh, fucking hell. You know what I mean? Trying to please everybody, like, just should just say it the same every time, but I honestly forget what it is. It doesn't really matter, does it? Like, not really. But look, we're gonna do a wee Twitter roundup here, guys. You know, another late night session. We got the cigarette, we got the tea, we got a stand for the guitar. The guitar is now sitting on a stand, which is an improvement. Certainly an improvement. Was down at a wee jam tonight. Sunflower Bar, lovely. Got to hear some really nice songs. Some key recordings. Well, they were live, but you know what I mean. Good songs that it was nice to hear them. It was really nice to hear them. But yeah, where would you get it? So like straight up, we got Benn is on the fucking scene here again. IFL TV. What is your honest opinion, right, on Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? Tell you what we'll do, we'll look at some of the replies first and see what the general fucking opinion is, and then we'll fucking see what we can come up with. Right, here's these two fucking dossers, right? It's a bit mad to be honest, but a must watch still, says the Pugilist Mag. Boxing, blue tick, follow. Wayne Clark, sad in capital letters to see such a legend of the sport, Jake Paul, at the age of 57, getting into the ring with this absolute clown of a human being. Jesus, there's obviously something severely lacking in that man's life. A1 Andy, sad cash grab. Quite like that, that was succinct. Yeah, nice bit of fucking alliteration or something going on there. Retro Doggo says monkey trousers. Not quite sure what that means. Rabina Wills, should not be sanctioned, should not be happening. She sounds a little bit severe. Michael Sullivan, not as bad as Manny versus Benn, at least people know it's an exhibition. Dave with a big Union Jack and then a fucking flower. Or is that an aeroplane? Don't know what that is. All theatre, it's a show, both will make big money and good luck to them. XX. Why are you sending them wee kisses? Like Mike Tyson doesn't want your kisses. Mike Tyson would smack you up if you tried to kiss him like that. Jake Paul probably would too. Why is he even sharing a ring with an aging legend? Pete Woods. Charlie Rose says, it's weird. A young guy fighting an old legend who's way past his prime. Paul must be maybe a decent enough boxer, but he's an influencer first, clearly, who just wants attention. But no judgment on Tyson for wanting the big payday. Now let's look into that just a little bit deeper. He's an influencer first, clearly, who just wants attention. Okay, so why do people get into YouTube or trying to become an internet personality, or in the old days a celebrity, or a famous person? Is it because they want attention? Is that what all it is? And now YouTube is the perfect medium for people who just want attention. They don't have anything of value to give or anything to say. They don't feel they have something to communicate. They just want attention. That's all it is. So he just wants attention. Yeah, he's going and killing himself in the gym fucking 5-6 days a week for attention. It's probably true. Yeah, fair point, Charlie Rose. Let me pick there. She looks alright. Yeah. Bob's spliff roller says honest or brutally honest. So this is a guy whose main purpose in life is to roll somebody else's spliffs. That's how he really identifies as a guy. He doesn't even have his own fucking identity. He's a guy that rolls spliffs for another person. Fucking fair play, man. Honest or brutally honest? Yeah, having a wee dig there at Bentley's with his brutally honest videos. Everything's brutally honest in big capital letters. Now, let's get to our opinion, right? What do we think? Honestly, it's good business. It'll be entertaining. A lot of people who would never watch boxing are going to watch this. A lot of casuals. Let's say of that pie of professionals, there's probably a good segment, a good thick slice of that pie. Let's say a third, for argument's sake, of them are going to go back and watch more boxing. They're going to get into it. They're going to watch more UFC. They're going to watch more combat sports. There's more eyes in the sport, and there's more money in Eddie Hearn's pocket. Well, somebody's pockets, you know. Hopefully, the fighters will stand to benefit. You know, they seem to be the ones doing the most work, really, don't they? So, you would like to think that they would get remunerated for their efforts, but you know, I don't think anybody could look at that and really take it seriously as a matchup, as a fight. But many will, you know. A lot of people will look at that and be like, oh fuck, I wonder how this one's gonna go. You know, a 60-year-old Mike Tyson, give or take, probably, he's definitely got more knowledge, he's got more skills and experience and everything, obviously. But he is 60. And Jake Paul's not a bad boxer, like, he's quite good, especially for, you know, he's been boxing, what, 2.5 years, 3 years or something like that by now. You know, you can see he's got skills and stuff, but at the same time you watch him and there's a certain heft to his movement, I find, where he's not, there's something lacking there. You can see he's got some of the moves, he's an athletic guy, good coordination and stuff, he's picked up stuff quite well, from what I can tell, like, anyway, you know. But there's something, not a sluggishness, there's just like some kind of something not quite, you know, I don't know. For what he is and for what he's come from, like, I think he's really good, so fair play. Elon Musk, right, this is good. Puberty blockers, aka sterilisation drugs, will no longer be prescribed to children in Britain due to potentially severe negative effects. Why are they giving children puberty blockers? Why? Who's giving their children puberty blockers? No, I can understand if it's for, you know, people that are like transitioning from male to female or the other way around. There's something going on there that they want to do, but why are you giving them to children? Why are you trying to preserve your child? That should be illegal in the first place. Forget about the negative side effects, you know, like they get a bit bloated or they won't grow to be as tall as they should be. You shouldn't be blocking a child's fucking development. What is, you know, it's a bit suspect or something, like what's the motive here, you know? It's, I don't know, I don't really know the ins and outs of it, like it's a bit shady, isn't it? Boxing Ho, massive fight for Shakur, July 6th, Stevenson versus Hatton, title fight. Who, Campbell Hatton? July 6th in New York. New York. Is that Campbell Hatton? Why? Oh, he's got the sky blue glove there. Yeah, why would they put them two together? Oh well. Good payday for an exposure for Campbell. Ryan Garcia. After watching a little bit of that filth of that podcast, the one that the blonde kid host, it's came to my attention that I need to clear up some things. One, I never said I'm a god, I said I'm with God. Two, they're trying to spin the narrative that I'm going through something. They are working for the devil. If they just for once actually looked up what I'm talking about, they will see that there's little kids hurting. Fuck them, they work for the devil, all three of them. Three, prime taste like shit. Okay, this must be either KSI or it's Logan Paul. Prime tastes like shit. If you drink it, then you're working for the devil yourself. Everyone who drinks Prime is working for Satan. There's lots of little kids drinking this shit. Like, they're working for Satan. I don't care what you say. You're helping them gain more money, and in return, probably hurting kids. Especially with the chemicals that are in there. I'm going to clear up something that's been going around. I was tricked by the devil, conjuring of demons. Remember, Satan himself comes as the angel of light, and obviously I was tricked, and I was going through spiritual warfare, but Jesus protected me through it all. On 5F Prime. You know, it's interesting, all that stuff talking about demons and coming out, and it's all Satan, you're working for Satan, and it's God this, God that. I seen they had him up in like a conversation, and they had the Northern Irish guy from IFL was on there, a few other lesser known YouTubers and stuff, boxing channels, and Ryan was talking, and his girlfriend was trying to tell him to come off it, because look, these guys are only looking to manipulate you or make money off you or make you look stupid or something, you know. And one of the things that he said was quite intriguing. He said I'm trolling, and then he sort of called himself and says, oh well, I'm trolling with the truth, and this is the truth, oh, this is true, but I'm trolling with the truth. So whether or not he actually is, or he was simply trying to make it look like he knew what he was doing, that's what he said. All of this is I'm trolling. So there's still that ambiguity as to whether he is actually going through something, or this is all some insane, you know, genius act that he's managed to pull off. Fabrizio Romano, don't know much about that. Okay. A lot of this stuff is videos. Okay, here's a good one, right? Who is P4P, the hardest puncher of all time? And in the picture is George Foreman. Not sure who the opponent is there. I don't think it's Michael Murray anyway. Yeah, well, who do you have? Like George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Ernie Shavers, and Deontay Wilder. They say that Ernie Shavers was killer, and you know, funny, I seen a wee article. I didn't read it all. I just sort of seen the headline. Some fighter had come out and said, you know, a contemporary of Muhammad Ali's, you know, a heavyweight from that era, saying that he blamed Ernie Shavers for the condition that Muhammad Ali was left in his later life. It's a bit mad, you know, to say that, but yeah, I think I haven't watched a lot of Shavers fights. I mean, it's the type of power as well, isn't it? Even Foreman, I haven't watched loads of Foreman's fights, you know. I've really only seen the Rumble in the Jungle, you know. Or is it the Rumble in the Jungle? Yeah, Zaire. You know, I know him as obviously renowned puncher. Ernie Shavers, again, it's just reputation, you know. Deontay Wilder, yeah, his power's ludicrous. Yeah, he really does detonate on somebody. And you know, I've heard it said as well, you know, he's actually quite clever in the way he sets it up, and that maybe his trainer, I can't remind his name, he was actually a heavyweight fighter as well, pugilist specialist. That if you judge by the Parker performance, where he's tried to teach Deontay to box more, like Deontay sort of fought off the back foot, you know, he really boxed. It's kind of strange. It's a strange showing, but somebody said that they had taken him away from that instinctive approach that he had, where he had a deceptive thing with the 1-2, the way that he would set up that right hand, you know, where he would lull people, he would almost hypnotize them, you know. Yeah, it's interesting. Date yourself by naming one concert you have attended. No. Devin Haney hitting the heavy bag with insane power. to be whipping them in rightly there, yeah. Some of them. A few good whipping shots, some of them are just solid hooks. He's moving around, he's quite sprightly on his feet still, you know. I think if he held his feet even more, he could probably get a whole lot more, what do I know? Big cats, which one is your favourite? Lion, tiger, fucking what's that, a leopard or something? A fucking cougar or some shit, I don't know. A panther, tiger. There you go. Okay, let's hear this. UFC legend Nate Diaz has taken to X to call out Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Deontay Wilder, and has claimed that he'll whip all your arses. What does he say, arse? Diaz was comprehensively beaten by Jake Paul on his pro boxing debut back in August. Thoughts? Yeah, that's nonsense. He was rubbish, like, against Jake Paul. He was rubbish, man. I mean, he probably didn't train a whole lot for it, but he's, nah, man. Oh, look at this now. I ultimately believe I'm better than him. I'll prove it on the night. Fabio Wardley says big phrase boxer will be his toughest test to date. March 31st, that's coming up soon. That'll be good. Like Fabio Wardley, I do, you know. I know he only had a couple of white collar fights. He didn't really have an amateur career. And he just took to it really well, you know, and then come into the pros, and obviously he's very capable. Like that last guy that he fought, where the guy was giving him all sorts of stick, and he was trying to get real fucking aggressive with him and stuff in the build-up. And Fabio Wardley, it's a real nice guy. I think that's why I like him, you know, and how he comes across in his interviews. He doesn't really act the big tough man and stuff. He is tough, obviously, but he's just like, you know, quite nice and talking about stuff, and you know, he's a little bit, you know, he's kind of intellectual and stuff as well, you know. But Fraser Clark, yeah, he looks good. I watched one of his fights. He very capable fighter, good skills and stuff. It'll be good to see. I'm picking Fabio Wardley for that one anyway. He's good personality. I think he's good for boxing, you know. Major upsets: Ali versus Spinks, Tyson versus Buster, Sugar Ray Leonard versus Hagler. I don't think that was a major upset, was it? Lopez versus Cambosis. Any better ones? Parker versus Sang. I don't know, I can't really think, man. I need fucking box rec or something up to give me some ideas. I don't really know. Check this guy out. This is Adam's Boxing Show. Jacob Matala, aka Baby Jake, from what's that? Is that Zimbabwe or something? That fucking flag. Shortest world champion in boxing history. He stood at only 4 feet 10 inches tall. If you saw Jake in the club, you would probably think to yourself, man, this dude too little. I would beat his ass. Then boom, you would get knocked out by him. Yeah, he does look tiny. Not too much fucking going here tonight. Okay, right. There's no clear next opponent for Anthony Joshua. The Fury Usyk winner won't come till 2025. Parker, Hrgovic, Wilder. Wilder, I think, would obviously be a good fight to make good money, all of that. Those are all hard fights. But Wilder, I think, is a tricky one. Because as dodgy as he looked against Parker, I think he would really get himself up for an Anthony Joshua fight. I mean, obviously it would be a massive event, you know, despite what happened against Parker. I think the build-up, there's still big money in that fight and loads of interest. Well, I think that Wilder would get himself right up for that fight. as confident as Joshua was looking, there is that danger that Wilder could just knock him spark out. It would be good to see. Parker won't be an easy fight for him. Hargavitz obviously is very good as well, not as proven really, but you know, obviously looks to be quite a good fighter. I don't know, he should fight fucking Hughie Fury or somebody like that. You know, because as great as he looked against Ngannou, it's Ngannou, it's an MMA fighter. Let's see now. Oh man. Is this Fannin, right? I don't really know who this is, but I know that name. I know he is somebody. Fannin International Boxing is a multi-platform social media boxing forum where hardcore fans discuss the sport they love. 10k people didn't catch what I did today. I was born petty. I thought that said pretty there for a second. Wait, what is this guy saying? I was born petty. Better believe that was move 1 out of 10 to 15. Keep playing and the end game won't be pretty. Okay, don't let your small channel games get the big money players caught up. I don't do sophistry. What does that mean? That's like fucking being all sly and stuff, isn't it? Trying to coerce people and manipulate and stuff like that, isn't it? Let's fucking see what that means. Sophistry. Sophist. Let's see what a sophist is. Maybe I'm fucking sophist. Oh, give me the meaning. Don't be giving me some fucking ancient Greek shit. A sophist is a philosopher, a teacher of rhetoric and philosophy, or a fallacious. Oh, that sounds a bit more like it. This fallacious guy. Yeah, let's get to this. Come on, man. A captious or fallacious reasoner. Yeah. All right. I think we know where we are with that. Yeah. I don't think this guy's claiming not to be a philosopher. Yeah. Whatever. What are we at here? 23 minutes, guys. I'll try and wrap this up. Okay, well this is interesting. You know, you can always rely on AFL TV. Say what you want about Coogan. You know what I mean? They come out with the good posts, the important stuff that you want to see, like, you know. What are they saying here, right? Tickets for Jake Paul's fight with Mike Tyson on July 20th are reportedly going for a minimum of $238, £186 online. Do you think it'll be a sellout? Oh, it's in a big venue, isn't it? I don't know how big the venue is, but yeah, you imagine it would sell out. It's quite a symbolic like feature poster. There's something like Illuminati shit going on here. You've got Tyson just staring to the face, staring to the front with the face tattoos, and then the tattoo must be his daughter on his chest. And then fucking Jake Paul behind him with the chain on the tattoos. It looks like he's wearing some kind of a bodysuit or something. And he's holding his finger to his lips. You know, I don't know. It's like, is he gonna shush all the doubters, or is he? Well, I don't know what's going on there, man. Let's not look too deep into that. Ryan Garcia is showing amazing skills by perfectly hitting the bag without even looking. Mm, don't know. Because you're feeling it every time you hit the bag's swaying back and forth from him. Every time you hit it, you know where it is. He's hitting with short jabs, short shots. You know where it is. He's hitting with wee taps. He's feeling it as it moves, so he's stepping in with his feet there to follow it in. It's like an illusion, isn't it? Another one of these boxing illusions. I prefer. I don't want to sound like I'm disillusioned with boxing because I'm not. You know what I mean? But you have to fucking tell the truth too, don't you? At some point, Rai will learn just like Regis did. Alright, this is kind of interesting, right? Devin Haney, right, has come up and he said, like, above a post, he's got a post that's come on, right, something to do with Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. And he said, Rai will learn just like Regis did. Okay. And Boxing and BBQ has said, Jake Paul joins Ryan Garcia's space and says Ryan should be worried about Devin Haney. Jake says Devin has great technique, the best jab in the game, and that skills pay the bills. Yeah. You know what I was gonna say there? Like, what I kind of found funny about that was that it's like Jake Paul's giving the breakdown of the fight, talking about his jab and stuff and the technique, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. But it sort of backfired on me, you know. One of those. Should leg kicks be allowed in street fights? Well, it's a fucking street fight. You do whatever you want. Let's see what this guy's doing. Some slow motion shit. It's like low frames. No, I suppose somebody can get you from long distance. You can't even get close enough to punch a guy. You just fucking kick you. Being too crazy in a street fight is a bit too tactical. That you gotta in a street fight you get right in there and you do whatever you have to do. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like a boxing match or even an MMA fight. Like, it's you fucking jump on the guy and you know what I mean? All this fencing off each other and you know what I mean? Like, what is this? One last good question here. Oscar Valdez working his way back to the top. Now he was going through a hard time, wasn't he? He was fucking depressed as fuck after losing to Shakur, was it? And did he lose to somebody else as well? I'm not sure. He's trying to work his way back up. Shakur must be a very frustrating guy to fight, especially if you have a style like Oscar Valdez, you know. Come on, man. We need something of substance here before we can close the book on this. Liam Gallagher here, we got what we asked for. Right, I'd love to stay on here all day winding up Liverpool fans, but I've got work to do and many people to see. Many people to be. See you on tour, don't be late. You've got many people to be, okay. Come on, man. This is fucking... This ain't no good. There's not much going on tonight. Okay, here we go. This is the perfect ending, right? AFL TV, right? Is it AFL or AFL TV, right? It's that bent-legged dosser, Kurgan Cassius, right? A deal is reportedly edging closer for Conor Benn to face Manny Pacquiao. Who do you think wins and how? Hmm. You know, I was checking out. There's a good channel at Boxing Gems, and they're really good. You know, they do the breakdowns and stuff, and their videos and their detail. You know, they get into a lot of stuff like framing and, you know, much the same as we do in music. It's all, well, that's a 1-2, that's a 3-6-1-2 combo and stuff. Like, they really, really know what they're talking about. They go into a lot of detail. I think it started more with one guy who used to seem to do it, and it would be great because the little clips had like real cool hip hop, you know, gangster rap soundtrack, you know, and the guy talking would be like, yeah, this is what's gonna happen in the fight. And but since the channel's growing now, they have different guys, so they have like a more nerdier guy doing the voiceover sometimes. It doesn't quite have that same deep underground gangster feel, but it's still quite good. But yeah, there was a few of those guys who were just shooting the stuff and back and forth, you know. And Conor Benn, Manny Pacquiao come up, and the guys were talking like Pacquiao didn't have a chance, you know, like the way I would look at that is like, I don't care what age Pacquiao is. What is he, 42 or something like that? I think it's a tough fight for Conor Benn. You're talking about an all-time great, you know, 42. He's only retired a couple of years, like, you know. And of course, people are talking about, oh, he must really need the money and stuff. You have to look at how Ben has performed since the debacle. Yeah. He was knocking everybody out in spectacular fashion. You know, he was scary, his power, that he didn't seem to have earlier in his career, you know, had suddenly come about. He flattened Algieri and a couple of other guys and a couple other dudes, you know, that were reasonably, you know, B-level fighters, probably. You know, Algieri was a world champion and stuff, obviously, but at this stage of his career, you know, he was on his last legs. The two fights that Ben has had since then, I think he's fought them both in America. One of them was up at 154, I believe. He didn't knock that guy out. I didn't see that fight. I heard it wasn't much to look at. With the more recent one, I kind of like Conor Benn, you know. Like, despite all the stuff that's going on, I just like how he comes across when he's sort of being himself. He seems like he's a sound guy, you know. But he didn't look great in that last fight, like. He really didn't look great. So, unless there's a severe upscaling of his skills, you know, and he somehow, you know, rediscovers that power that he had, I don't see him doing too much against Pacquiao. But then again, Pacquiao's old. You know, maybe it's the perfect thing to bring Pacquiao in to give him a good challenging fight. And if, you know, Pacquiao being so old can't really hang around to the 12th round, and Ben manages to get the win, well then it's the perfect launch pad for him, isn't it, to send him back up out of the doldrums and out of the stuff that he's been in. And you have to kind of pity him for a while. Like, a lot of people have no sympathy for him, you know, considering what went on. But it's just something that he did that he got caught at. You know, there's probably a lot of, you know, supposedly there's a lot of other athletes doing that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? They just don't get caught. He got caught, and rather than, he tried to get away with, you know what I mean? And because he tried to get away with it, then he's sort of been backed into a corner, and he's had to maintain this stance, you know? Whereas if he had just accepted a ban. But obviously, the big thing was that he was Matchroom's biggest fighter up and coming at that time in the UK. When their UK roster seemed to be less and less, and Eddie Hearn's involvement in the UK was less and less. He was trying to do stuff in America, wherever else around the world, in Europe and stuff as well. You know, a bit in Australia and this and that, but more or less trying to really break through in the States. And then he started having a hard time, and so he's doing a bit more in Britain now, seemingly. Um, and his own seem to be doing great. Like, they seem to be showing all the fights. Like, so, you know, as a platform, they're doing well. You know, but it would be such a loss for them then to have Conor Benn completely out of the equation, or to have his name blackened. You know, so if they can get through this while they can still hang on to that thing that no, I'm innocent, but it's still been a massive disgrace. Like, there's still no way that it's a kind of a horrible thing to have happened, you know, because he was on the up and up and up, and they were building, but from their point of view, you know, it's a horrible, horrible thing to have happened. Like, it's a nightmare, like, you know. So this could maybe be the fight to launch him, and as he's coming out of this, all these appeals and stuff that they're talking about and things that they have lined up, if he manages to get by that, some way he is acquitted, or, you know, they say, right, well, fair enough, there's your boxing license, you know, we'll agree to disagree on this one, you've suffered enough, right, so we're gonna let you go on ahead here. If he fights Manny Pacquiao and beats him, that'll propel him right back up in there again, and it'll go from where he is now, you know, calling out these fighters, where, you know, these American fighters going, Conor Benn, you know, they know who he is, but, you know, if you're going to call out Boots Ennis and stuff like that, you have to at least show that you will have your recent performances that put you in the conversation with the Boots Ennis, you know. If he beats Pacquiao suddenly in terms of stardom, money-wise, and also in terms of ability, he'll get some credibility that way, so that could really be the one. So, I mean, if they make that, I find it interesting that Pacquiao would go to fight him, you know, but I suppose there's been talks, and maybe there, you know, somebody reached out to somebody, and, you know, they've come to an understanding. Maybe not. We'll see whether or not it gets made. You know, there's nothing set in stone just yet, but it could be the perfect springboard. You know. Anyway, guys, that's my 2 cents on that, and that is me clocking out for the night. It's been a good day, and I hope everybody else has had one of those too. Either or, you know, and yeah, be good to yourselves, guys, and I'll probably see you again. Belfast, boxing, and blues.